The A cluster in the UC core competency ABCs represents the competencies that impact your ability to achieve results, with A standing for achieving results. There are 4 core competencies in this cluster: continuous improvement, continuous learning, problem solving, and service focus. While you are learning about the 4 achieving results core competencies, check out the companion guide. For behaviors that resonate with you as true, current strengths of yours, mark those with a star. For those that you want to further develop, or where you think that there might be a gap to close or improve your skills, mark those behaviors with a circle. When you come across behaviors listed that you are a little bit unsure about, so meaning you're still thinking through how that behavior shows up in your role or the role that you're hopeful to grow into, write a question mark next to those. When you come back to these after some reflection, you will have a better sense of your strengths to capitalize on, development areas to maximize potential, and stretch your comfort zone. And with those where you wrote a question mark next to, those are the ones to continue to think about, research, or talk with a coach about. Asking yourself, what's really going to help me grow in the ways that make the most sense for my current and future roles? All right, let's start with continuous improvement. Here's how you can define continuous improvement. Strives for high quality performance in self and the organization. Takes initiative in an ongoing effort to improve products, services, or processes to deliver optimum results. Is resourceful, seeks alternatives and broad input, and measures outcomes. You might be thinking, okay, how does this show up in your day-to-day? Here are the 3 core behavioral anchors for this competency. It looks like adopting ideas, tech, and practices that increase efficiency, eliminate waste, and improve performance. So bringing yourself forward at work as someone who is always looking for ways to streamline, enhance, grow, and transform. Another behavioral indicator for continuous improvement is about your ability to be reflective, and you're taking initiative to make improvements to your current work. To demonstrate your continuous improvement, use data, feedback, and input from others to improve the quality of products and services represented by your job, unit, or department, or the campus or system overall. Okay, so we just talked about the core behaviors for all employees. Now, if you are a manager, here are the 3 behavioral anchors for you when planning for continuous improvement. You want to be driving the improvements, always searching for new ways to position the organization for success. You also want to support others who take calculated risks. And really critical to enabling the team you support to continually improve, recognize and reward initiative and innovation. Okay, so through continuous improvement, you get so many opportunities to grow through the next core competency under the Achieving Results cluster, continuous learning. Okay, so let's dive into how you can show up as a leading learner in your space. Continuous learning is defined as demonstrates responsibility and ownership for one's job and career path by identifying and expanding skill sets needed to perform successfully on the job. Consistently works to learn and increase knowledge, asks for help when needed, admits missteps and mistakes, and is open to feedback. So again, we have 3 core behavioral anchors for all employees in the UC and 3 for managers. All right, so let's start with all employees. First, continuous learning looks like taking responsibility for your development, maintaining fluency in work applications like tech, systems, and processes. Continuous learning is also demonstrated by your ability to keep up to date on current research, trends, and technology in your field, and using that learning to identify and pursue areas for development and training that will directly enhance your job performance. Other behaviors here are about seeking coaching and feedback to increase your self-awareness and personal growth. As a manager, your behaviors directly impact the enablement of your team, right? So let's take a moment to shine a light on how you can show up as a strong continuous learner. When you create opportunities for learning and development throughout the organization, when you give team members autonomy to determine how to complete work, and when you effectively delegate, when you ensure that knowledge and learning is shared across the organization, and making sure you go further to recognize staff who are learning from one another. With continuous improvement and continuous learning as a foundation in the Achieving Results cluster, let's talk about problem solving. Problem solving, or anticipates and identifies problems, conducts appropriate analysis to understand stakeholder interests, also generates and evaluates alternative solutions, takes thoughtful risks, and for all employees, the core behavioral anchors are as follows. Evaluate pros and cons, risks and benefits of different solutions, and you prioritize opportunities and challenges in order to solve urgent, high-impact problems first. Also, when you work effectively with others to solve problems and make decisions, especially making sure to seek input from your partners. Additionally, it's when you identify issues and address them in a timely, data-driven, and transparent manner to achieve sustainable and optimal results. Okay, so if you were a manager, what would you do to support your team's problem-solving abilities? Well, you can foster an environment in which employees feel safe raising issues and offering solutions. It's also about owning that you are accountable for your decisions and actions when problems are being solved. And you should utilize broad organizational knowledge to identify root causes and potential impacts of proposed solutions. Rounding out the Achieving Results cluster is our service focus to all that we support: faculty, staff, alumni, students, community members, and the list goes on. Service focus is defined as someone who values and delivers high quality, professional, and responsive and innovative service to all customers. They establish and maintain positive, long-term working relationships. Here are the behavioral anchors for all employees. When you seek and use feedback from a variety of sources to improve service quality, you have a service focus. Going above and beyond, right? When you meet and often exceeded expectations, this can be verified when you ensure that the stakeholder needs are fulfilled, and when you honor commitments and promises are kept. Finally, showing your flexibility. You need to show that you can adapt service delivery to meet the needs of a diverse client base. So what about managers here? So if you're a manager, what can you be doing to show your service focus? When you hold yourself and the team accountable for high quality of work and stakeholder relationships, you provide the team members with clear direction and support them in meeting their service delivery objectives. And when you ensure that service delivery roles, responsibilities, and reporting lines are clearly defined, understood, and accepted. All right, now go back to your companion guide, review the core behavioral anchors, and mark your strengths with a star, areas for growth with a circle, and anchors that give you more questions than answers right now with a question mark. Start thinking about ways to maximize your strengths, close gaps in your development areas, and resolve the questions that you have about the anchors that were a little bit cloudy to you. You can find your companion guide linked in the video description below and in the Grow on the Go library.